In this session, we will do a short introduction about norming and each product. We will then move on to share the key challenges in travel and expenses management and how these challenges can be addressed by norming's travel and expenses solution. Today, technology has been advanced a lot, but a lot of business still using manual or fragment systems, which leads to silos in business operation. Norming's team understands these challenges and has been developing solutions to address this problem. Using web and mobile solution, Norming automates the procure to pay, travel and expenses, sales and warehouse operation, project scheduling to help business to streamline its operation. You will be able to see how Norming achieved this in the sharing later. Some of you might have known who is Norming. Norming is an independent software vendor who has been developing a lot of add-on solution to 6300, which you will see in the next few slides. Over the past 20 years, Norming has been recognized globally by Sage Partner with their robust solution and reliable support and won numerous awards in the past 20 years. Asset management was the first product developed by Norming. As you can see, asset management covers start from cost capitalization, depreciation, asset maintenance, asset tracking, as well as asset leasing. Norming Resource Manager was initially developed from the customer and partners' request. While the customer appreciates the rich feature and function in 6300 APPO, OE, and IC, but unfortunately, this module is not end user friendly and is not feasible for end user to be used. As a result of this, Norming developed a resource manager covering procure to pay, travel and expenses, time management, project management, inventory requisite, sales quotation, as well as all the other requisites. Norming has always been listening to partners and customers' feedback. Some of the company's operation needs very strong security control, like certain salesperson can only have the access to selected customer, and certain buyer can only access to some of the vendors. Norming security set allows you to set security control at the transaction level. This diagram shows how Norming Resource Manager can scale in 6300's core financial operation to the front-end user. As you can see from the diagram, all the green boxes are 6300 module and all the yellow boxes are web and mobile-based Norming solution. This solution enables staff work from anywhere and anytime and reduce the manual data entry and help the business go with paperless workflow. With Norming Resource Manager, you can now enjoy the automated workflow and their seamless integration with 6300 back-end operation. If you would like to find out more about this solution, please indicate your request in the post-event survey. We all know different business have different workflow. Nomin supports very robust and flexible workflow setup. From the simplest workflow, you can have just one applicant and then one approval. You can also have multiple approval. You even can set approval based on like certain amount only go to finance and admin manager and certain amount needs goes to CFO and even CEO. Anyway, Nomin supports unlimited level of workflow and they are customizable. This is an example of a very complex workflow Nomin has implemented for its customer. Nomin continue adopt advanced technology like AI and OCR. So the newest product they develop is the AI-based OCR, which you can just upload the invoice or actually the invoice received from email, and the OCR will recognize, will populate the information, and you can also follow by 2 or 3 week invoice matching and then go through your normal approval before post to 6300. Now let's move on to one of Nomin's solution, travel and expenses management. And this is the survey result from all of you. As you can see, most of the business is still using manual-based process for their travel and expenses management. And the manual-based process brings a lot of challenge. Like the top one is the process delay, and followed by approval, workflow efficiency, budget control, lack of visibility, and policy enforcement. And no need to mention errors and integration with the financial system, as well as multi-currency handling. This is a typical menu-based travel request workflow. Employee need to fill in the form and then submit the request and then pending for approval and finance endorse or further approval, and then hopefully can book the travel arrangement. Based on my experience, actually a lot of time the staff may not clear about what is the policy allowed, and this may make them feel very frustrated when they fill in the form. And after they asking aloud and then they thought they complete everything, they submit to the manager. Again, the manager may not remember all the detail, what is allowed, what is not allowed in the policy, and this might cause some of the delay. And hopefully manager will submit for the next approval, and then sometimes you might, or the next approval might be traveling or whatever, and this will cause the further delay because it's all paper based. And when finally submit to finance, and then finance may say, oh, actually your department have exceed the this year's travel budget, so your travel request may get rejected, or even is within the budget, and then by the time after the long process cycle, the price might be changed and it might trigger reapproval. And also you might be asked to resubmit the form because of incomplete information. Similarly, delay always happen in the manual expenses process workflow. In addition, staff might not be able to retrieve the original approved travel request, and then the receipt might be lost. And sometimes, right, some of the receipt just not clear after a period of time if the receipt is not captured timely. So when the staff fill in the expenses claim, I think one of the key challenges is always, right, what kind of exchange rate to be used. And again, because of the policy not clear, so actually when the manager try to approve, manager may also need to ask and need to check, and this will take further delay. And finally, it will after all the approval submit for the finance to process. And checking expenses claim is a huge and very tedious task for the finance colleague, because it's all manual based. Basically, whatever the staff key in the original expenses claim form, the finance staff have to recalculate one by one, and also need to locate the matching receipts. And sometimes if the receipt is never been labeled properly, it's very time consuming. I was the finance admin manager before. uh, Sometimes, right, when the expenses claim check-in, it crash with ad hoc urgent reporting request from HQ. It just give us a lot of stress. And after the department had approved, the poor account payable colleagues still need to key in, re-key into the financial system. Again, must be very careful, otherwise error might happen, and then the staff might not be happy. And another very subtle, but I think all of us feel the same, is because, right, the policy is not built in. When either finance colleague or your manager have to tell you or tell the staff, which actually some of the item may not be able to claim, is not a very pleasant experience. Now let's look at how norming can help you to address all these challenges. This slide is quite busy, but I believe it's very important. All of us are very clear how norming's travel and expenses claim can help you to address all those key challenges. I will not read through one by one, because later you will get the slide. So the web mobile-based workflow will really help you to address the process delay and those configurable approval paths. And you can also delegate your approval request if you are travel. These will also help to improve the work flow efficiency. Uh, the real-time budget check-in, which is very important. This is try to prevent the overspending. And not only that, right, I think all of us like to know where is my request, where is my expenses claim, when am I able to get reimbursed. So we would like to have the visibility, the actually where is the claim now. And like what I mentioned, the built-in policy check not only can help with the policy reinforcement, it will really help to minimize the staff unhappiness. And then the data entry now, because actually with the mobile solution, the data entry actually is done at the beginning. There's no duplicate data entry. And we will also share how it integrates with C300 and how the multi-currency being supported. Now let's take a look what are the key features can help with all those challenges. as you can see from the screen, now staff can just submit their travel request or expenses claim from the web or even from the mobile app. And after the staff submitted, from the approval perspective, the approval can always see all the requests pending to he or her process at one screen, either through web or through mobile. And to prevent further delay, and because now all of us are very busy, the system also allow you to customize the auto reminder. You can set the frequency like daily or weekly, and you can also set the reminder when it's become urgent. So not just a reminder, and sometimes, right, you say, hey, even the reminder have been sent, I still don't get it approved, and to prevent the staff feel very unhappy, so the system also allow you to set escalation, and you can define your own rule when it should be escalated to the next level. So what we shared before, Nomin supports unlimited level approval and allow you to configure your workflow like based on amount. And once the workflow be configured, the requester always can see the approval trial so that they have the real-time visibility. And not just based on amount, you can also configure the workflow like based on like specific approval or any of the pool or the approval or all. I think this is really based on your own company's policy. And when you are travel or either you are on leave, you don't want because you are not able to check in your email from time to time, you can always delegate your approval actually task to other people. How Nomin address budget control. As you can see from the screen, you can link your expenditure to GL account budget. If let's say you are using 6300 PJC, you can also enable the PJC budget or estimate check-in. And you can decide, right, how often you want to check the budget, like monthly, yearly, year to date. And this is just based on different company, different policy. You can also limit the spending by different expenditure. So like here you have like the air ticket, car and hotel, and what is the amount limit, or you can set by yourself. And once the budget check-in budget limit is set, you can also configure the system whether the warning message or error been pop out if let's say it's not according to the budget or exceed the budget, either through web or through mobile. So this is a built-in budget check-in. It really help I think to speed up the whole process. And these are the one screen. As you can see, who submitted, and then what is the action take by next approval, and then the whole approval, the approval trial, and also when they take action. So you can also actually decide, right, actually some of the claim or some of the requests, you need to have a certain mandatory field or certain supporting must be submit together. and then you can enable all these actually policy requirement within the system, and again you can configure your own message. Here are some more example how you can build in the compliance policy. Like for these cases, if a company the travel cost estimate is must be provided, and then you can also enable this. And just now we mentioned, you can also set the cost by each expenses. So then in this case, the meal is set actually cannot exceed 1,000 US dollar. The moment is exceeded, you will get the warning message. And a lot of time the approval delay is because the incomplete information being provided. To prevent this, you can enable certain comment field to be mandatory. If those information is not provided, basically it will pop up error and you might not even be able to submit your claim. Now let's take a look how norming travel and expenses, basically it's an expenses claim, integrate with 6300. As you can see from the screen, when the staff enter the expenses claim, you are already able to choose the specific geo account to capture their expenses. And some of the companies say to prevent they enter wrongly, you also can specify some of the geo account to be displayed. And after your map, you do the geo mapping, you can decide how you're going to reimburse your staff. In this case, it will reimburse through 6300 account payable. So when the expenses claim been approved in norming resource manager, and then you can post to 6300, and upon posting you can see AP invoice is created. And if some of the company use project job costing, you can also specify which project and then what are the project category, and when the staff fill in their expenses claim, they are able to choose the right project properly. Most of the country have tax, and we need to be able to report the tax properly. So norming into the tax setup in 6300, that means when the staff key in, they can already split the tax amount, and this will also be posted to 6300 tax module accordingly. Exchange rate is another request, because when you travel to overseas, you will spend in foreign currency. When come back, right, actually you need to know what exchange rate is used to convert those expenditure, and here you can specify the exchange rate. The rate will also display on the screen. Try to avoid any dispute later. So I hope based on what we have shared, you have a better understanding how norming travel and expenses management can help you address all these issues. And now let's move on to the product demo.
Hello everyone. In this video, I will show how norming solution can help you to automate your travel and expenses. I will first show you as a traveler. I will be traveling the next week. So I will submit my travel request to my supervisor to let him know where I am going, how long I will be staying, and how much money I will spend during the travel. And after I'm back from the travel, I will submit my expense report for reimbursement. I will show you how easy users can use the mobile app to submit the expense report. And I will show you how smart the system is to help the finance user to save their time on manual checking and spending controls. The flexible workflow engine can be configured to meet all your approval requirements. You can have conditional-based workflows based on the expense amount. And approvers can receive notifications for new approvals or reminder for the pending approvals. And after the expense has been fully approved, the accounts payable invoice will be generated in the Sage 300 without any human intervention or synchronization process. Now as a traveler, I can access to the web portal to submit my travel request anywhere with a browser. And you can get the mobile app from the Google Play or Apple Store if you are using an Android or iPhone. I can use my employee ID or company email to log in the system. Users can do a lot more requisitions on this portal, like to submit their purchase requests and timesheets, but today we'll be only focusing on the travel and expenses. Click on Travel and Expenses, then Travel Request. On the left-hand side of the screen, user can easily track the approval status. Click New for a new travel request. You can enter the purpose of this travel. Add your destinations and how many days will stay for the travel. You can add detailed comments for your each destinations. Go to the estimate and you can add expense details to let your supervisor know how much money you will spend during the travel. You can add comments for detailed explanation. You can add multiple expense codes to get the total amount for this travel. You can add attachments such as detailed itinerary for the supervisor's review. Attachments can be opened directly through the web browser. Click Submit for approval, and you will get warning message if you have travel request been booked under the same period. User can get the approver's name and approval time through the approval trail. Approver will receive email notifications for approval, and they can click into the URL link in the email notification to quickly access to the web portal for detailed travel request information. They can check the itinerary, the travel cost, and the attachments uploaded by the requester. They can approve or reject the travel request and put the comments. Now the travel request has been approved. Now 2 weeks later, after I'm back from the travel, I will submit my expense report for approval. I can still log in the portal through the browser. Go to Travel and Expenses and Expenses. I can check my expense approval status from left-hand side of the screen. Click New for a new expense report. And I can choose the travel request been approved weeks ago. You will find the expense items will be auto-populated to the details. And you will notice the GL accounts will be auto-populated based on your configurations in the Sage 300. It will save a lot of time for finance to manually specify the GL codes. And GL segments can be overwritten based on the division or department you choose. Now see, the first segment of the GL count of the first item has been changed from 100 to 200 after the division been changed. And this is all automatically. User doesn't have to remember the GL codes or segments. The tax can be auto-calculated based on your Sage 300 configurations. You can change the tax class as you require. The comments can also be brought up from your travel to the expense report. You can add new expense items as needed. It supports multi-currency in the Sage 300. Now I can click Submit, and I will get error message for missing attachment. The application will help you to check all the mandatory information you need for the expense report. It will save you a lot of time for back and forth and corrections. You can attach the receipt through attachments. And in this video, I'm happy to tell you that you can use the mobile app to submit your expense report even you are out of the office. Log in the mobile app and click Expenses. Add a new expense report with detailed information, like the expense items and amount. User can use their smartphone camera to capture the receipt and attach it to the expense report, so they won't worry about to lose their paper-based receipts. With a mobile app, user can easily and quickly add their expense report with a few clicks. For better screen quality, I will go back to the web screens and demonstrate the application. After the receipt been added, user can check the personal or department-wise expense budget. They can get the budget figures for a specific expense code and for a specific period. For department-wise budget, you can set up the budget based on the GL segment account in Sage 300. The application will check everything for the finance user, so you don't have to spend your time into the budget checking process. It will check the spending based on the GL code and the personal limitations. It will also check against the travel request. For example, in a travel request, the requested travel cost was 2,500, but in the expense, you want to reimburse more than 3,000, and you will get a warning or error message. The application can help you greatly with the finance compliance. Now I can submit the expense report and I can get approval information. It needs to be approved by my supervisor, and if it's greater than 1,000, it should also be approved by the general manager. Supervisor can click into the URL in the email notification, and he can also manually log in the system to approve the pending expense report. Go to Approve list and click into the pending document. He can review the detailed expense information and looking at the attachments, and put the comments. Approver will also get warning or error message for non-compliance expense reports, so they can take action to continue or reject the expense. The approver can check all the approved expenses in the web portal. And because the expense is now greater than 1,000, it now needs to be approved by the general manager. If the general manager is busy and have a lot of traveling, she can also use his mobile app to approve the expense. He can check the expense details through the mobile app, like the expense items, the comments, and the expense amount. The receipt or other attachment can also be reviewed through the mobile app. The general manager can also check the approval trail for the previous comments, and he can check the budget amount in the mobile application as well. Finally, he can put his signature and approve the expense. Now the expense has been fully approved. Now it will move to the final stage. The approved expense will be generated automatically in your Sage 300. Finance user can log in the Sage 300, go to Resource Manager, Travel Expenses, Transactions, Expense Batch List. Click into the document just been approved, and you will find all the expense details like the GL account. The expense amount will be auto-generated in the Sage 300, as well as the tax optional fields, and you can also review the attachment through the backend. You can also check the approved audit trail. After the final review, you can click the Post button to generate the AP invoices into the accounts payable. Nomin also provides the auto post program, so you don't have to manually post it. The invoice can be generated all automatically if you want. You can drill down from the expense entry to the AP invoice entry. And from the accounts payable invoice batch list, you can also find the batch being generated from the resource manager. And you can also drill down from the invoice entry to an expense report. Thanks for watching. We hope the solution can give you easy user experience and better finance control capability.